As the drama in Salem Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, March 20th, promise shocking discoveries, heated confrontations, and emotional turmoil for some of Salem's most prominent residents. From Gabi's unexpected revelation to EJ's seething rage, this episode is poised to deliver plenty of gripping moments. Gabi's startling discovery in Javi's unexpected house guest Gabi Hernandez is no stranger to surprises, but nothing could prepare her for what she's about to discover. She will stumble upon something so baffling that it will leave her in a whirlwind of confusion and frustration. The shocking revelation? Her brother, Javi Hernandez, has invited none other than the scheming and ever-manipulative Leo Stark to move in with him. Gabi is not one to hide her emotions, and her initial reaction will be a mix of shock, disbelief, and sheer fury. Leo Stark is the last person she would ever want under the same roof as her family. She has seen firsthand the chaos and destruction that Leo leaves in his wake, and she knows that trusting him is a dangerous gamble. Feeling betrayed and utterly blindsided, Gabi will lash out at Javi, demanding to know why he would make such a reckless decision. She will accuse her brother of being naive, warning him about Leo's past deceptions and manipulative tactics. Gabi, who has fought her own battles and faced betrayals in the past, will not be willing to sit idly by while Leo worms his way into her brother's life. However, Javi will not back down. He will defend his decision, arguing that Leo deserves a chance to prove himself. Javi may even believe that, given time, Gabi will soften her stance and learn to tolerate Leo's presence. But will Gabi ever be able to accept Leo living under the same roof? Or will this create a permanent rift between her and Javi? Expect a heated confrontation between the siblings, one that could bring up past grievances and old wounds. The Hernandez family bond will be tested as Gabi and Javi navigate this latest conflict, and it remains to be seen whether Javi's choice will lead to regret or disaster. Jada's theory could bring EJ down. Elsewhere in Salem, Jada Hunter is on a mission. As a determined detective, she prides herself on following the truth wherever it leads. And right now, her gut is telling her that EJ Mera is far more involved in recent criminal activities than he's letting on. Jada will take her suspicions to Paulina Price, convinced that EJ orchestrated Rafe Hernandez's capture at Blake's Armid estate. She believes that Rafe didn't simply stumble into trouble, he was deliberately placed in a precarious situation, one that involved the high-stakes kidnapping of Rachel Blake. Paulina, ever the formidable force in Salem, will listen carefully to Jada's theory. While she is known for her bold and unwavering support for those she cares about, Paulina also knows that jumping to conclusions can lead to dangerous consequences. Will she encourage Jada to dig deeper, or will she warn her to tread carefully in her pursuit of EJ? As Jada builds her case, EJ will remain unaware of just how close the walls are closing in around him. But with Paulina now in the loop, will she use her influence to help bring EJ down, or will she have her own reasons for keeping certain information under wraps? EJ's wrath unleashed on Kate. Meanwhile, a storm is brewing at the local bar, and at the center of it is none other than EJ Mera. He has just discovered a betrayal that he simply cannot tolerate, and he's ready to unleash his fury on Kate Roberts. Kate recently revealed a devastating secret to Johnny Mera, one that has shattered the young man's perception of his father. She told Johnny the horrifying truth about his conception. EJ had assaulted Sammy Brady that fateful night. For Johnny, this revelation is a nightmare that he never saw coming. As EJ storms into the bar, his anger radiates off him like an inferno. He wastes no time in confronting Kate, his voice dripping with venom as he accuses her of poisoning his son against him. To EJ, Kate has crossed an unforgivable line. He will berate her, warning her that she has made a powerful enemy. The confrontation will be intense, with EJ making it clear that he will not let this betrayal go unanswered. Kate, however, is no shrinking violet. She has faced powerful men before, and she won't be intimidated by EJ's threats. She will stand her ground, refusing to back down despite EJ's fury. But with tensions at an all-time high, could this explosive argument escalate into something even more dangerous? Johnny struggles with the pain of the truth. In the midst of all this chaos, Johnny is left reeling. Learning the dark truth about his father has sent him spiraling into a whirlwind of emotions. He feels lost, betrayed, and utterly shattered. The man he once admired now appears to be a monster, and Johnny is struggling to reconcile the father he knew with the terrible actions of his past. Rafe Hernandez, ever the protector, will step in to offer Johnny support. He knows how difficult it is to learn that someone you love has done something terrible. Rafe will try to help Johnny process his emotions, offering him a shoulder to lean on during this devastating time. However, no amount of comfort will make this pain disappear overnight. Johnny will be haunted by the revelation, and he will wrestle with the question of whether he can ever look at his father the same way again. Will he cut ties with EJ completely, or will he find a way to move forward despite the pain? What's next for Salem? With tensions running high, secrets being exposed, and relationships hanging in the balance, Thursday's episode of Days of Our Lives promises to be an emotional roller coaster. Gabi and Javi's conflict over Leo's presence will continue to boil, while Jada's suspicions about EJ could spell disaster for the powerful Demera. Meanwhile, EJ's wrath against Kate may push their already strained relationship past the point of no return, and Johnny's emotional turmoil will leave him questioning everything he thought he knew. As the drama unfolds, fans won't want to miss a single moment of the action in Salem. Stay tuned for more twists, turns, and shocking revelations that will keep Days of Our Lives viewers on the edge of their seats. Back in yesterday's episode, Days of Our Lives, Teresa and Xander's explosive showdown in Horton Square. Just when Teresa Donovan thought she could leave the past behind, fate and a furious Xander Cook had other plans. Yesterday's episode of Days of Our Lives delivered a tense and emotional encounter between Teresa and Xander, reigniting old wounds, grudges, and the lingering consequences of her past mistakes. The moment unfolds in Horton Square, where Teresa finds herself face to face with an enraged Xander. His sharp glare cuts through her usual bravado, and before she can even get a word in, he throws out the first verbal punch. "I should call the police," he growls, his voice laced with contempt. Teresa, ever defiant, crosses her arms and meets his gaze with a smirk. "Go ahead," she says, feigning confidence. "Not much they can do, seeing as I've already served my time." But Xander isn't in the mood for games. "You still haven't paid me back," he fires back, his voice low and menacing. A flicker of unease crosses Teresa's face, but she quickly composes herself. She acknowledges that kidnapping Victoria was wrong, at least in hindsight. "I get it, I messed up," she admits, tilting her head slightly. "But come on, Xander. In the end, you got everything you wanted. You have your daughter, you have Sarah, you even have your family name back. Sure, you had to split things with Philip, but hey, no one gets everything, right?" For a moment, it seems like she might have struck a nerve. Xander's jaw tightens and his fists clench at his sides. But then he chuckles darkly, shaking his head. "You think you're so clever," he mutters. "Philip and I? We're doing just fine. In fact, we bring out the best in each other." Teresa narrows her eyes, sensing an opportunity. "Right," she says, dragging the word out. "And you're totally okay with him having that letter, the real letter, unlike the one I forged?" She watches closely, waiting for a crack in his tough exterior. Xander's reaction is subtle but telling. A flicker of uncertainty crosses his face before he scoffs, brushing off her insinuation. "Nice try," he sneers. "But you don't know what you're talking about." Teresa smirks. "Oh, I think I do." The tension between them is palpable. They stand inches apart, locked in a dangerous battle of words and wills, each trying to outmaneuver the other. There was a time when their shared history might have led to something more heated, something impulsive. But this time, Xander isn't interested in playing games. Just as he turns to leave, Teresa makes an unexpected move. "Look, I know I screwed up," she says, her tone losing its usual sarcasm. "I never should have gotten involved with Constantine. It was a mistake." Xander stops in his tracks, his back still turned to her. He exhales sharply, then slowly turns back around. "Yeah," he says coolly, his expression unreadable. "It was." For a fleeting moment, there's an almost imperceptible softness in his eyes, but it vanishes as quickly as it appeared. Xander isn't about to let Teresa off the hook that easily. "You listen to me," he says, stepping toward her once more, his voice dropping into a low, dangerous warning. "Stay away from Maggie. Stay away from Sarah. And most importantly, stay the hell away from my daughter." Teresa swallows hard, but she holds her ground. "Fine," she mutters. "Whatever." But as Xander strides away, Teresa pulls out her phone, her fingers hovering over a familiar contact. Her father, Shane Donovan. With a deep breath, she presses the call button. It rings, and then, straight to voicemail. Again. She closes her eyes for a brief moment, her expression unreadable. Another reminder that she's on her own. As she lowers her phone, her gaze flickers in the direction Xander had walked off. This war between them? is far from over. Stay tuned, because if we know Teresa, she's not done stirring the pot just yet.